It was an accident. That's what Tote officials are saying about the sinking of El Faro. Channel 4's Chris Parento is joining us live now from downtown, where people are surprised at the company's response. Chris?
The most dramatic moments of testimony in this round of hearings up until this point happened late this afternoon. An NTSB investigator didn't mince words when he said that the El Faro accident was a colossal failure in management. He then asked a Tote executive who was testifying what he thought the company had done where they failed before this accident. That executive said he had no rational answer about what happened.
Could you please share with this board your thoughts about the nature of the management failures that led to the loss of the El Faro?
I think this tragic loss is all about an accident, and I look to this board as well as the NTSB to try to define what those elements may or may not have been. I, for one, with 51 years of experience in transportation, cannot come up with a rational answer. I do not see anything that has come out of this hearings or anything else that I've ever seen that would talk about a cause. Certainly, as management, we look for that. We look for what NTSB and this board may come up with, because we think it will be important. At this point in time, I, for one, cannot identify any failure that would have led to that tragic event.
That Tote executive vice president said earlier in the day that the proof was in the pudding about Tote's safety record. Lead investigator with the NTSB, Tom Rothroffy, said when he did call this a colossal failure in management that, yes, the proof was in the pudding. After all of that, a family member of one of the crew members, Larry Davis, his son, Derek Davis, came back into the hearings with cups of pudding, giving them to everybody inside, saying, yes, the proof is in the pudding about what happened with this accident. A growing sense of frustration from these family members, saying that Tote continues to put blame elsewhere instead of taking responsibility on their own for what happens. He even offered these cups of pudding to those Tote executives, saying that he's hoping they're happy with the way they've handled this entire situation, and that, yes, the proof is in the pudding, and people are starting to find out about how they actually feel about safety. Family members say they're going to have these cups of pudding back out here tomorrow, with Tote out here as well for the final day of these hearings, saying they want to make their statement that they're growing more and more frustrated with every Tote executive that testifies. Live downtown, I'm Chris Parento, Channel 4, the local station.